I'm Ashton Addison from the Crypto Coin Show, and today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Blockchain Babe with us to talk about crypto debit cards and payments with crypto in the real world. Thank you so much, Blockchain Babe, for coming on the show.
Thanks a lot for having me.
You're very welcome. I'm excited to dive into this because I feel like it's a topic that a lot of people are interested in. They're looking for ways to spend their crypto conveniently, and there have been many different solutions. I'm not sure if any of them have been perfect and hit the nail on the head. I've tried a few of them. I know that you have a lot of expertise with it as well. So I'm excited to dive into the discussion. Some of the ones that I have tried and also have seen in the past are, the Crypto.com card. There was a Coinbase card. There was the Fiat24 card. There's a Binance card, and there's probably a few other ones that I don't think they got very popular, but there's been quite a few, and some of the big names have got cards now, and they're making it more convenient. I know that you have a lot of expertise with this. You've probably used some of the ones that I mentioned. Maybe you can talk a little bit about the cards that you've used, and then we can dive into the positives, the negatives, and what's sort of the end-all, be-all solution.
Yeah, so you're right. I mean, the perfect solution is very hard to find. And I think it depends on many things, like where you live, what you want to use it for, your expectations of the card. And I do know a fair amount about the cards that you mentioned. So I'm happy to share a little bit about each and which one I personally use. So I think Coinbase has been around, the card has been around since 2019. At first, it was available in the UK and Europe, and the US, they've added it more recently. It's a debit card, so that when you make a purchase with a card, they convert the crypto in your wallet to fiat currency. I think it's really well known at this point, but from what I've read, the main drawback of this card is the 2.49% crypto conversion fee. Maybe it's been updated, but the last time I read it was this amount. I think this fee is just so high, it kind of makes it almost pointless to spend your crypto because, many crypto reward options only pay 1% back. So you're technically losing money by spending crypto in this case. So this card is really only good if you spend USD or USDC. But yeah, I mean, there are some issues with the Coinbase card. I would say also for Binance, sadly, as we've all read in the news, it's no longer offering its Visa debit card in Europe. They found themselves increasingly isolated from the traditional financial system. We know it got cut off from the US banking system in February, and then lost the ability to accept some bank transfers in Australia in May. And then over the summer, it shut down Binance Connect, which allowed businesses to accept crypto via Visa and MasterCard. And also MasterCard and Visa decided to terminate their crypto card partnerships with Binance because, there was just this increasing regulatory scrutiny. And the Crypto.com card, I would say that it's also not ideal because in order to unlock the most value from their card, you need to stake Crow. Their basic card doesn't have much in the way of benefits. So you not only need to stake crypto for 180 days, you need to keep it staked to keep most of the card benefits. I guess it's not a big deal if you're comfortable staking Crow and you understand that the price will fluctuate. But if you don't want to invest in it, then it's not really the card for you. It's a prepaid debit card, and that also comes with its own set of issues. Also, the Crypto.com card requires you to leave your assets in other people's pockets because it's a CEX. So that's something that's becoming less and less appealing to many users. And I think I'll talk about that later. But personally, what I use is the Fiat24 card. I use it for daily spending, like to buy my lunch, to buy Starbucks. And I'll be happy to say more about it later. I'm sure it will come up.
Very cool. And thank you for a detailed explanation on all of those cards. I did see the news with Binance in that it seems like everyone's cutting them off. And it sucks when you've sort of chosen a card and you think, okay, now I can use it, and then it gets cut off. Visa and MasterCard and all these guys. And I think they've run into a little bit of regulatory issues in not just one jurisdiction, but many. So that's sucks to hear, but I guess, that's the way it goes, and we'll see if there's more options available. And for the Coinbase card as well, you mentioned about the fees. I think part of the reason why people want to use these crypto debit cards is that they're trying to get rid of at least the credit card fees of 2 to 3% that normally are charged. And if they're charging the same, then what's the point, right? So that's crazy. And I did personally also use the Crypto.com card that you mentioned. I did stake some CRO tokens, and if you want to get bigger cards, you have to stake a lot. And that doesn't make any sense compared to a traditional credit card, because normally, cards are free and they're giving you a ton of credit. And in this case, you have to stake a few $1,000s. And then, the coin didn't have very good liquidity. And honestly, if you got the card when the market was hot, then you staked the coins and all of a sudden you've lost a few $1,000s because the coin went down. And they did actually do some funny business with switching the coin to a new coin and not giving you the proper exchange rate and stuff. And I think a lot of people got burned on it. And overall was not worth going into the card at all, because you're losing money overall. I personally have I know about the Fiat24 card. I haven't used it myself, but it's good to know that you're using it as the main card. And I'm curious on sort of these issues that you've spoken about with the other cards, the fees, the partnerships being revoked, the staking, things like that. What is the case for the Fiat24 card? Does it have to go with through all of those issues, or how exactly has it been for you using it?
Yeah, so I would say there are a couple of points. The first one is that unlike the Binance Card and other exchange cards, like the centralized exchange-related cards, the Fiat24 account is a Swiss offshore bank account. And actually, the card is just one of the features that you get when you open an account. Because more importantly, your account is connected with the Swiss and SEPA settlement payments. So legally, it's like equivalent to having a UBS or a Credit Suisse bank account, even though Credit Suisse doesn't exist anymore. But that's the first point. And secondly, I really like the way that I can open the Fiat24 e-banking portal in any non-custodial wallet, which means I'm not tied to or limited to a specific platform. The concept also is really different. They're trying to be the fiat layer for the DeFi ecosystem, like in terms of infrastructure. So currently, if we look, the DeFi ecosystem is completely disconnected from the fiat world. CeFi has only limited link to the fiat world. This is mainly because DeFi projects exist in the form of a protocol and in the legal form of a DAO. So traditional financial institutions cannot really serve DeFi projects in any way. So I think that the point is to have this kind of DeFi solution, like Web3 ready to serve the DeFi ecosystem in a native way is really important. And that's what I'm trying to say is beyond just the card is the concept and what they're trying to do is far more interesting than the other cards we mentioned before.
Mm-hmm. That's very cool. About the Switzerland, I think a lot of people that have at least been in finance for a while know that every wealthy person wants to have a Swiss bank account. So to sort of double up on that is very cool. And I'm curious though about I know in Swiss they use francs, or there's other European currencies. Does it still work with USD? And are there restrictions on where you can use it to pay?
Well, the card is a Visa card and is readily accepted in more than 4 million merchants worldwide, like online and offline. So it's just like any other Visa card. And just like every other Swiss bank offers multi-currency accounts. It's the same with Fiat24. The only special part of the Fiat24 account is that it can be topped up by selling crypto. And by crypto, I mean to say any token that has a liquidity pool on Uniswap, because as far as I understand, Fiat24 uses Uniswap to convert any token into a stable coin. And then once they get the stable coin, they top up your Fiat24 account. So, I mean, yeah, it is a pretty global payment solution in that sense.
That's very cool, because I know a lot of these other cards, they either want you to top up with just a stable coin or Bitcoin or something. So sort of make it easier if you're one of those people that have a lot of altcoins to not have to go through extra steps beforehand. That's always nice. And in terms of the getting access to it, let's just say, you've had bad experiences with the other cards, you want to get set up. How easily or quickly did you get started using the card?
Well, so currently the card is available for people who live in the EEA and Switzerland, but in Q1 of next year, there are plans to expand to other regions. But yeah, it's pretty simple. So the cool thing is that to open an account, it is really Web3. You don't have to do anything to do with like a password or email login, but it's all replaced with an NFT. So you just have to mint the Fiat24 NFT, which is free to do. And that just serves like to identify all the people in the ecosystem. It's a utility NFT. And then you just pass a few simple KYC steps, like 3 steps, like to verify your identity, your address, and yeah, just a few like basic questions. And after that, if you are a resident in a country where it's available, you don't have to do anything. You will see like the card in your account. So I would say it's pretty fast and simple. Yeah.
That's really cool. And that's nice. I haven't heard of any of these other cards actually giving you an NFT or tying it to an NFT at all. Although I have seen some NFT projects that have different tiers or rarities, and maybe the NFT goes up in value. Are all of the NFTs the same, or are there different premium NFTs, premium cards?
Yeah, so there are different NFTs. There are some that you could purchase and that give you further benefits, although I don't think that for now the premium card is available yet, but I think it will be soon. And of course it will have like higher transaction limits and lower fees, but for now it's not available. But of course there are people who are trading the Fiat24 NFTs on OpenSea, and there are ones that are selling, but you can also get it for free if you want.
And when you go to Starbucks to purchase your coffee and you're using the Fiat24 card, are you using it on your phone through like the Google Pay, or do you actually have a physical card and you pay? How does that work?
Yeah, so there is no physical card, it's just digital, but I feel like that's a lot better anyway. So it's just in my Apple Pay. So if I realize that I don't have that much money in my card, I just open up the account, my Fiat24 account, and I sell my Ethereum or my ARB token or my wrapped Bitcoin, whatever I have. And it's immediately converted into euros, and then I can just spend it. So it's all really fast, and it's all through my MetaMask. So that's pretty cool.
That's very cool. And in terms of the you mentioned at the beginning about Coinbase charging a lot, and these other ones sort of having issues. Are they charging less, I would assume, than at least Coinbase? Or what are there any high exorbitant fees with the card that you have to pay?
Well, to get the card is free. To open the account is also free. And for now, there's 1% on crypto top-ups.
Okay.
But yeah, otherwise I think it's pretty competitive.
That's very cool. And I feel like now is a good time to sort of set this up for the future. So mainly for the European people, but people in North America, and I'm guessing in the States, there's always, with Binance's extra steps and things like that. So what you're saying is for people that aren't in the EEA right now, they will be getting that in hopefully the next quarter leading into the next bull run.
Yeah, we want to be more there are plans to make it more global, to bring it to more people around the world.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sounds great. And what do you think are the main reasons that all of these other cards have had issues and that the Fiat24 card, at least yet, hasn't had any issues? Do you think it's Switzerland or starting in Europe? I'm pretty sure the other ones did not start there. That seems like an advantage, but what do you think are the sort of the main issues?
Yeah, I think there are three major challenges. First of all, cryptocurrencies, as we speak today, they still exist in a regulatory gray area in many countries around the world. And I think that crypto debit card providers have to navigate this complex web of regulations and licenses, and it also varies really differently from one jurisdiction to another. So to be able to be compliant is still an ongoing challenge. The second one I see is that I think, like we said before, there's a lot of these crypto debit cards which charge transaction fees, like for crypto to fiat conversions, withdrawals, or purchases that can be quite high. It kind of erodes the benefit of spending the crypto in the first place. And finally, I think, just the integration with traditional banking and financial systems is just not there yet, So when you have a crypto debit card, it kind of requires users to manage multiple accounts, and they may not offer features like direct deposit or bill payments or earning interest on deposits. The TradFi world, I feel, is still quite hostile to crypto. And as you know yourself, crypto people, they have like a really different mindset than TradFi people. I think it will take time before we can get along and work together. So those are like the major issues that I see.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And I think, looking from the crypto person mindset, I think it's great what you're saying, that if you just whip up your MetaMask and you have Arbitrum token or some other tokens, you don't have to go through all these steps to start adding it into the card. And, say you want to get your coffee in 5 seconds, you realize your balance is low. That makes it really easy. And I'm not in the EEA myself, but I'm going to be following along to check out when I can get the card. For the people that are in those jurisdictions, do they go through a mobile app, or do you just go to the website? Is there a best way for them to get the card quickly?
Yeah, so because we have a DApp, you can just open it via any browser on your mobile phone, or if you want to directly, you can open whichever crypto wallet you like best and use their native browser. Just to go to app.fiat24.com, and there's a generator, so you can generate an account. And it's just as simple as that. I think it's actually quite intuitive, to be honest. I think it kind of leads you step by step to what you should be doing. And also there's like on Twitter and Discord, I mean, there are real people that you can talk to. So
that's awesome. Well, I'm going to check it out. I'm going to follow along for those updates for hopefully when it's available in my country in next 2 months or so. And I'm gonna look at the recent news on it as well. I'm gonna put the links to the app for the viewers that are available in that jurisdiction, and also for the people that are in my area to follow along in the near future here. And I appreciate your insights into having used all the cards, what you're using right now. I think there's a lot of people that are just looking for better solutions. They've had a card and all of a sudden it got cut off and it sucks. And it sounds like this Swiss banking solution is one of the best, as it always has been for the past decades, now moving into crypto. So yeah, is there any other comments that you have about these crypto debit cards and the best choices, and where do you think they're going to be in the future?
Yeah, for sure. I think after the FTX incident, we can see that more people are moving away from CEXs into DEXs like Uniswap. I think we've seen that people are starting to feel a bit uncomfortable putting their assets into other people's pockets, and that they want more ownership. So I think the prediction that I have is that there will only be more DeFi cards. There are already some out there, like Fiat24. And I just think that's kind of the trend of how things are moving and where it's going.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I'm looking forward to it because DEX is right now, it still has quite low adoption compared to the centralized exchanges. But if I'm going to have a crypto debit card, I'd rather have one that's tied to decentralized protocol rather than trusting Binance or whoever. You know, it's sort of the ethos of blockchain and cryptocurrency is to stay in the decentralized world. So it's very cool. I'm gonna look into Fiat24. I appreciate your insights into it all, blockchain babe. And let's definitely follow up in the next few quarters. And I want to get your updated feedback on if you're still using the card and now when it expands out to the new jurisdictions and any other updates in the crypto debit card world. So thank you so much for your time, and let's follow up in the near future.
Thanks.